Hey guys, welcome to this Jersey Girls home. I'm Vicky and we're gonna make some salsa verde right now. It is freezing in my house. It was a very cold night. We've had pretty mellow days, but it was very cold last night. We don't have the heat on yet. So I think I'm gonna make some nice hot tea before I get started, just to kind of keep me warm before my body gets moving. Once we really get cooking and stuff, it will warm up, but for right now, my fingers are freezing. I am cold. It smells so good. Just gonna add a little bit of the syrup and a peach in here. Put this in the fridge. Get some nice hot water in here. My tea should be good. Now that we'll have our tea going to drink and warm up with, we'll preheat the oven and we'll get our food on the pan so that that can roast. Okay, so it says to preheat the oven to 425 degrees. And we're gonna put the tomatillos, onions, peppers, and garlic on the baking sheet. Oh, it's so nice and warm. My fingers are freezing. We'll start with our tomatillos. We need 4 pounds. It does say to add aluminum foil, but this is an aluminum pan, so I am not going to waste that. Stem side down, we're just gonna roll them over. I've already removed the husks prior to freezing. I don't have to do that step. And these have thawed out pretty good. I put them in the fridge overnight and there is a little bit of frost still in here, but it's not very much. Okay, so we want 4 pounds of tomatillos. We want 2 jalapenos, or if you want it really spicy, then you would add in serrano peppers. I'm using my lemon spice peppers because they're just so delicious. Those are definitely keepers. I'm going to grow them every year. I don't want to use that board again because I did not put gloves on and I don't want my fingers to start burning. So I'm just going to make that my garbage holder for now. Or my scrap holder. All right, so then you want 2 white onions. I only had 1 white onion, so I am chopping up this other one. We need 6 garlic cloves, and it wants them peeled but not chopped up. I think I'm gonna put these on after this is roasted. It says to do it first and then remove them from the pan while the roasting, but I think I'd rather just, I'm afraid I'll forget about it and I'd rather have to put these in later than to burn them up. So let me try my tea because I'm so cold. Oh, that's delicious. Oh, that tastes like warm Snapple peach tea. Ooh, feels good. All right, let's get this in the oven. We're gonna roast that for 15 minutes and then we are going to add our garlic. This year I'm not growing garlic, sadly. Very, very sad about it, but the reason behind it is that New Jersey has not been getting much rainfall, especially where I live. It's been so bad. Ever since I got my ever since I had gotten my spring garden planted. It was very good in the beginning. There was lots and lots of rain. And then all of a sudden, as fast as the rain had been coming, it completely stopped. And so by the time June hit, we were having to water every single day for the entire season. And when August came, I got excited. I was ready. I started some seeds. I was excited and ready to start a fall garden. I only did one or two trays of seeds, and then we had like a windstorm. It knocked them over, and because they were outside. And I said, you know what? Instead of fixing this and replanting this and starting more seeds, I'm just going to wait till next year, because it is so dry that it's just not going to make it. And we're going to bake that for another 15 minutes. Now we have this vented. That looks really good. Super thick. Delicious. Now we're gonna add our seasonings. We need a half a cup of lime juice. I'm using a quarter cup of lime juice and a quarter cup of lemon juice because I'm not a huge lime juice fan. 1 teaspoon of black pepper. 2 teaspoons of salt. And I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of dried cilantro because I don't have fresh cilantro, but that would be a quarter cup. I'm gonna stir this up and see how that looks. That looks good. All right, we're gonna warm this up, and it's already really warm, but we'll just warm it up a little bit more because it does say to bring it to a simmer. We're gonna put this on low so we can bring it just to a simmer. We're gonna get our canner on the stove. I'm gonna keep stirring this so it doesn't burn. Okay, the directions say this makes 3 pints, so I have 6 half pints out here that I wanna use. Did not take long to get this simmering. And it's actually so thick that I'm glad I put that splatter thing on, because otherwise it would have been splattering all over the wall. I'm just gonna give these a little shake because they're really thick. I want to make sure all the air pockets can escape easily so that I can get the correct headspace. Calls for a 1/2 inch headspace, and that one looks good. 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 A little bit more. Okay, we can take a little bit out of there. We'll see if this is enough to get one more jar in. It's under an inch. Let's see. Means I will definitely be able to get it into here. All right, and I just have like a little bit left over. It's not enough to can, but that is fine. We're gonna get these in our canner for and process for 20 minutes. Guys, we did it. It's done. Look at how cute that is. Perfect color. And this is gonna make some great dinners. So now it is time. We're gonna make Papa's Bywater barbecue sauce. So excited. Have never had it before, but I've read so many good reviews on Facebook groups that this is a delicious barbecue sauce. So I'm really excited to try it. This looks like a really simple recipe. It looks like we just combine everything in here, bring it to a boil, let it thicken for 20 minutes, and then we get it in our jars. So that's really, really simple. Not having to cut or chop anything, actually. Awesome. Let's get started. We need brown sugar, salt, garlic powder, onion powder, dry mustard, black pepper, paprika, ground red pepper. I'm gonna have to look up the difference. We might use ground white peppers, which I have, or ground black pepper. Chili powder, ketchup, water, apple cider vinegar, apple cider, honey, Creole or Dijon mustard, Worcestershire sauce, lemon juice, and some hot sauce. Okay, so upon looking it up, ground red pepper is equivalent to cayenne pepper, which I do have. We are going to do 2.5 cups of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of salt, 3 tablespoons of garlic powder, 3 tablespoons of onion powder, 3 tablespoons of dry mustard, 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 2 teaspoons of ground red pepper. I'm going to do 1 just because I know this is supposed to be a spicier, this is definitely supposed to be a spicier barbecue sauce, but I don't want it to be too spicy for us. So I'm just going to do 1 teaspoon, but you can do 2. Let's see, what else? Chili powder, a half a teaspoon. So we have everything until the ketchup. So now we're going to add the rest of the ingredients, which is our wet ingredients. We have all our dry ingredients in here now. We need 8 cups of ketchup, and I'm going to use organic ketchup because it doesn't have high fructose corn syrup, and the first ingredients are tomato. I have 3 of those, but if I don't have enough ketchup, I do also have my homemade ketchup to add in. All right, here's 2 cups. All right, we're at 4 cups, so halfway there. All right, so this is 6, and here is 8. Now we need 2 cups of water, 1 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, 3/4 cup of apple cider, 1/3 cup of honey, which is exactly what is left in my honey jar. Couldn't have been more perfect timing. Get all these air bubbles because it's filling in where the dry ingredients are. Hopefully my pot is big enough. Okay. We need 1/4 cup of Dijon mustard. And we are going to use the one that I made in the spring. This is 1/4 cup, which is even another perfect option. All right, 2½ tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Two tablespoons of bottled lemon juice. And 1 tablespoon of hot sauce. And we're going to give this a really good stir and bring to a boil. Then simmer so that it's thickened. And then we'll be ready to can it. The flavors are really starting to melt together as this warms up, and it smells so good. I'm glad I'm trying this because it's gonna taste so good on some foods. All about adding flavors and using different seasonings or sauces so that you really make your dinners feel different, even though maybe it's the same proteins, but you don't feel like you're eating the same thing every day because it always has a different flavor here and there. Like, you're not eating this barbecue sauce every single night. I mean, you could, but you're probably not going to. So maybe you have this with your meat one night and Another night you do apple barbecue sauce, and another night you do the salsa verde chicken, and another day you do the mango habanero wings. Like, there are so many different options of things to do when you add a bunch of flavors, and that is why doing a lot of these different things are one of my favorite things to do with canning, because it changes the profile of foods in so many different ways and keeps your dinners and home cooked meals fresh feeling. Makes them feel like it's not the same thing every day, without having to spend a fortune on products. I mean, this one I did buy the organic ketchup, so this one was probably a more expensive purchase for me to make, but in all aspects, it's still not that bad. And if you're just trying to get into canning, this is a really easy one to make. This plus, it'll add a lot of flavor, and I don't think you'll be disappointed if you like barbecue sauce. My goodness, guys, this smells delicious. Now it says it'll get 6 pints, so let's see if we can get 12 half pints, or we might need more jars or less. Is anybody else really big into reading? I really like to read on my downtime, or before I go to bed. I also really like TV, or Netflix and all the streaming services now that are available. But I love, love, love Frida McFadden. She is like one of my favorite authors nowadays. And I just read her book, The Perfect Son. It was so good. And then, of course, I see that her, the housekeeper, I think, yeah, she is getting a movie made. She's gonna have great movies. Her plots are so good. I can't wait to see what comes of her books, because I think she is going to have a lot of movies coming out in the future because her plots are so good. But so I read The Perfect Son. It was really, really, really good. And if you haven't read it, I highly suggest it, especially if you like very suspenseful stories. And what else? Oh, so I just started The Boyfriend. So literally I've only read 1 page so far. I'm very excited. But it was kind of like while this was simmering that I got the first page in, and I'm very excited to read it tonight. I'm grabbing 2 more jars. And I'm sure with the way that she's written all her other stories, not only am I going to be shocked with whatever happens at the end, but I'll be very pleased. So if you've read her books, let me know in the comments what your favorite Frida McFadden book is. I would say The Housemaid is my first one, and then number 2 would be The Perfect Son. It was really, really good. Now, as always, clean the rims of your jars so that you don't get a wrong seal. Because otherwise, you're gonna think that your food's sealed, and then when you go to use it, it is not going to be any good. And that would be very disappointing. All right, so we want a 1/2 inch of head space. I think I'm pretty good. I had to fit it into 2 pots, but that's okay because it's all on the stove and we're gonna get it done all at once. So that is an accomplishment. This did make a lot of barbecue sauce, which is really cool. So this is gonna go for 15 minutes once it hits a boil, and then we'll turn off the heat, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then take it out of the canner. Yay, we did it. We made it. We have another jar of barbecue sauce up here. So this year we made sweet and sour barbecue sauce, Stampede barbecue sauce, and now we have the Papa's Bywater. So we have plenty of barbecue sauce to last us for a while, and that is just so exciting. I'm thrilled to have another recipe on the shelf. So thanks for hanging out with me in my kitchen while I made all these yummy goodies, and I will see you again soon.